Traffic police at this hour appealing for compliance with rules of the road as the Easter weekend draws to an end. Many Gauteng motorists driving back from different parts of the country, the province recording several crashes and, I'm afraid, deaths since the start of the Easter road safety campaign last Thursday. Newzroom Afrika senior reporter Tumaole Mohlaoli brings us the latest now from the Carousel Toll Plaza north of Tshwane. Tumaole, good evening to you. What's the situation there as the sun begins to start to go down?
Indeed, Stephen, the situation right here at the Carousel Toll Plaza on the north side of the toll plaza is that there's a multidisciplinary police and law enforcement operation that's currently underway. Now, what police and law enforcement officials are looking for, and those include, of course, immigration officials and also include members of correctional services, are transgressors who perhaps have skipped bail and have fled various, institutions of correctional services and are trying to make their way into Gauteng province. And, of course, they're also looking for unroadworthy vehicles, vehicles that are overloaded. Those would be transport vehicles. But I'm going to step out of shot so that my colleague Maxwell Slotola can give you those visuals. You can see here that the SAPS officials are also on hand, and what they are looking for specifically is not necessarily traffic violations per se, but they are looking at whether the vehicles that are being driven are registered properly, whether the various registration markings on the vehicles, including the license discs, match with the information on the vehicle, other markings that show that the vehicle that is being driven is meant to be on the road, one, and is registered properly, and all the parts fit in. But to give you more on this, I am joined now by Ndate Obet Sibasa from the Gauteng Traffic Police. Ndate Sibasa, what can you tell us about what is happening here?
Yes, where we are, it's Carousel Toll Plaza. It's a multidisciplinary roadblock. Multidisciplinary would mean units came together collectively to ensure that Gauteng roads are user-friendly, are safe. SAPS is here, Home Affairs is here, Correctional Services is here, including national, provincial, and Tshwane Metropolis. We are out to ensure that, with regard to SAPS, it's crime prevention. They will be looking for those stolen motor vehicles, unlicensed firearms, drugs, and so on. Correctional services, they will be looking for what we call those prisoners that escaped, the ones that they can identify. With regard to Home Affairs, we saw earlier on 2 undocumented foreign nationals being arrested. They will be looking for such. With regard to traffic, our duty is to ensure that there is law and order on our roads. License discs are there. Motor vehicles are roadworthy. People do wear their seat belts. In terms of public transport, drivers do have professional driving permits, driver's licenses, your permit, operating license, and so on. Also important is to ensure that people on the road do not drink and drive, do not drive at excessive speed for the circumstance. Reckless negligent driving, the 3 I will emphasize are for which a driver is immediately arrested. And looking from where we are, traffic is heavily congested. Reason is people are coming from Limpopo towards Gauteng or already in Gauteng. Now, counting here, we're looking at 2,500 motor vehicles per hour, and we're anticipating that later the patterns are going to change. Traffic is going to increase. It has increased on the entry from KZN. We're counting 1,560 motor vehicles per hour, as compared to earlier on when we were counting 500 motor vehicles per hour. The N4 the same. It has increased from Mpumalanga to Gauteng. We're now counting 2,100 motor vehicles per hour. That tells you that numbers are going up. Freeways, we know later. Now we haven't arrested anybody except the 2 foreign nationals. But later, definitely sure, we will be looking and targeting them, driving under the influence, speedsters. We have got unmarked cars that are patrolling on our freeways to ensure that whoever that is on our freeways drive at a prescribed speed limit. If you exceed, you go beyond 160, 161, you are definitely going to be arrested on a 120 zone. Lastly, We are appealing to road users to please adhere to the rules of the road, comply. That is not a challenge. Failing, we will ensure that whoever that is on our roads complies. We are not going to negotiate law enforcement. They will definitely lock you up if you fail to comply. So do yourself a favor, help us realize our objective of reducing fatal crashes and fatalities by 25%.
All right, thank you very much.
Road safety is a team effort.
Thank you very much. That is Obed Sebasa of the Gauteng Provincial Traffic Department. And of course, these are some of the situations in terms of the updates that he's just given us to understand it more clearly exactly what has happened to those foreign or suspected foreign nationals that were arrested just a few moments ago. They will be loaded onto this particular truck here. This truck that is stationed here has been brought on by correctional services officials, not only to target those who are here perhaps illegally or undocumented, but also those who are arrested for drink driving. And as I speak to you now, one person, has been arrested, I'm told by officials, for being under the influence of alcohol. So if you are on the roads or thinking of coming on the roads, this is not the advisable thing to do. And Maxwell is now giving you those visuals again. You can see all these vehicles coming in from the northern side of the carousel. That will be from the Limpopo side. And these are the vehicles that officers will be going through with a fine-tooth comb, so to speak, Stephen. I can tell you that the officers are out in full force, and they'll be here for the next several hours as, of course, they wind down the Easter operations. That doesn't mean that road enforcement, in terms of law enforcement, is going to be winded down. So you can expect that zero tolerance, as Obed Sebasa from the Gauteng Traffic Department has just mentioned, is going to be the law of the letter, and it's going to be the order of the day. With that, it's back to you in the studio.
Mohlaoli, thank you very much indeed for that live update. Do appreciate it.